Hey YouTube land, Tech Anders here, back with more action figure reviews, and today I'm taking a look at the 2021 Mortal Kombat 11 McFarlane Toys, Liu Kang and Shao Kahn. Now, before I proceed, I just need to say these reviews are intended for collectors over the age of 13 years, just abide by the FTC and COPA rules. In fact, these figures are aimed at collectors 14 plus, as it says on the box, which I'll show in a minute. It says not a toy for 14 plus. So before I get into the figures, I'll do a quick review of the boxes and we'll start from there. Okay, having a quick review of the boxes that these guys come with. They actually come in newer design boxes. So you have the Liu Kang one. My Liu Kang I ordered from Amazon, and the one that turned up is the Platinum Edition, the bloodied variant. There's also a bloodied variant of Shao Kahn, but the one I got is the standard version. But if I just bring the box in there, you can see it's now a yellow and black box. You have a pair of nunchucks on one side. You have an image of the character on the back in an action pose. Again, character on the side of the box. And if I just bring in one of the previous boxes, this is the one for Katana. Now, I had done a big review of Katana, Baraka, the 2-pack with Raiden and Scorpion, and when I kept trying to upload a video, it wouldn't upload for me, so I'm going to have to redo that. But this is the older style boxes. So you can see it has the Mortal Kombat logo instead of the MK11 Mortal Kombat logo. And you have the kind of classic style Mortal Kombat, image of the figure on the back and image of the figure on the side of the box. So it's the same with Shao Kahn's, image of the figure on the side of the box, the name of the figure on the bottom, Mortal Kombat logo on the top, that section where it says 14 plus. You got Mortal Kombat 11 logo on the side, and then you have an image of the figure in an action pose on the back of the box. So without further ado, I will get on to the figures themselves. So with the boxes out of the way, we'll move on to the figures. These two are really nicely sculpted, but there's a few issues I've had with some of them, which I'll get into in a minute. But for the most part, they're nicely sculpted. So we'll go with Liu Kang first. He is the bloodied variant. As you can see, he has extra bit of blood, or blood painted onto his chest area, his shoulder here. Now he comes with these two grip hands as default hands. I do have his alternate hand swapped out at the moment. So he does come with these two grip hands. He's actually one of the few characters that comes with an alternate set of hands. In fact, I don't remember anyone else off the top of my head that comes with alternate hands. I think he's the only one. Unless the Luke Cage figure comes with alternate hands. I don't have that figure. I unfortunately didn't get that one, and now the secondary market is kind of overpriced. So I'm not sure if I will end up with him. Hopefully they'll do a repaint or a recolor with one of the alternate skins, and I'll pick up that version. Speaking of alternate skins, there is an alternate version of Liu Kang on the way. I don't think it's been released yet, and it's basically a shirtless version of this figure. So it doesn't have this shirt piece. It's a shirtless version. It has, as far as I can tell, it has the same trousers. The only difference is they're done in a yellow with black striping. So kind of a homage to Bruce Lee kind of style. So there is that. He also comes with a alternate right hand as well. So his right hand is in a kind of a, get it to focus, a kind of like a karate chop or a open palm pose. The alternate left is in a kind of a pointing pose, but I've seen people kind of doing the, the legs as apart and kind of posing with him where he's about to do a kind of a key strike type thing. He also comes with a pair of nunchucks. What's interesting as well is the nunchucks are bloodied. So it's very faint to see. You can see it more on the chain, the gold chain. You can see the blood. I can get the camera to focus on it. You can see there's the glossy red paint on it. It kind of is hilarious that they put it on it, considering the handles on the nunchucks are red anyway. What also is interesting is the alternate hands do not have the extra blood paint on it. It's just the ones that come enclosed in the box. And then the other thing he comes with, as with all figures, they come with the Mortal Kombat stand. He has 2 foot pegs. So there's only 1 peg on the stand, but he has 2 peg holes, sorry. And you can fit him onto either one to give him extra stability. So it's up to you which way you want to put him onto it. But it gives him an extra bit of stability. Articulation wise, he has pretty much all the standard articulation of the McFarlane figures we've come to know. The only thing is his hair and his head is a bit, gets in the way of his articulation, which is one of my main gripes. His hair, even though it's kind of a slightly more rubbery plastic, it's on a single ball joint, whereas I think the older figures had a double ball joint, and it was a little bit better. This time around, they're just doing single ball joints. I think some of the other figures had a ball joint at the base of the neck, so it would have given more range of movement. So there is that change up. He still has the standard arms with the kind of hinge, butterfly hinge, which is a little bit more hidden on this figure because of the shirt piece. He has the bicep swivel, dual jointed elbows, so you can get good range of movement on the hands. So you can get some good poses out of the hands. The wrists and hands are on that kind of ball peg combination. So you have a ball peg, you can twist it, and then have the hand go up and down, or depending which way you have it, go in and out. So you have that. The gauntlets don't rotate. They do seem to be a separate piece, but they're not on the swivel or anything. They are glued in place. He does have, I think he should have the double ab crunch, but it's because it's hindered by the shirt piece, you only get really the basic kind of crunch. You don't get much out of the waist. You do have the split hips. You can go forward that much, back that much. He has a slight bit of a swivel in the hip, and he has the dual jointed knees. He also has that same ball hinge configuration for the ankle. He has rocker ankles and foot. The foot articulation looks really weird if you do it in certain directions. In fact, some of the knees kind of look a bit odd as well. It's just the way this pants is sculpted. So there's that. He does hold his nunchucks. If I just get him into his hand without overstretching it. I did have to heat up the hand first when I first got him. Hold the nunchuck. Same with Shao Kahn in the background there. So he can hold his nunchucks. You can have him kind of just down to the side. The chain is a bendy wire, but I wouldn't overstress it too much because you could end up breaking it. But you can kind of get him to hold the nunchucks in a couple of cool poses. And then just for my tape measure, I'll bring them in. And just move him back a bit. You can see he stands just around the 7-inch tall mark. Shao Kahn does stand taller than him. I was a bit disappointed when I first saw Shao Kahn in the box. I thought he was going to be way taller, but after I looked at some of the actual gameplay for the game for Mortal Kombat 11, you can actually tell that Shao Kahn is actually he's not as tall as previous incarnations of him. Normally I kind of expect him to be like 8-9 feet tall type thing, because he's usually an imposing kind of character. But this time out, he seems to be a bit smaller. Seems to have kept him a bit more humanoid proportions than being kind of over the top. But again, he has all similar articulation to Liu Kang. He has a really cool head sculpt. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but you can see the eyes done with black, with orange pupils, with kind of a lizard style slit on them. They're really cool. So he's not just like basic human eyes. Again, you have the same thing with the head. It's on just a single ball joint instead of a double ball joint. We get a good decent range of movement out of him. His upper diaphragm is a bit hindered, but he gets good waist articulation, and he has a swivel on it. He has ball joints that allow him to go out that much. Now, it's a bit more hindered on this side. I will stress, when I did first get him, I had to dunk him in some hot water because this thing was getting in the way, and it was very tough to actually move the arms. But you can see the arm does have the same articulation on both sides. He has double jointed elbows, which do look a bit weird when you get him removed. You can see the big chunk where the elbow kind of connects to the hand, even though it's on the side. But that's the trade-off for the articulation point. He does have the swivel. He has a very nice sculpt. I can't really say much about the sculpt. I'm not too familiar with the character other than the overall design. I haven't played Mortal Kombat 11. I will say that. It does look like he's kind of made of mostly skin tone, and like stuff like here on his arm, his hand, they're different tones of skin, if that makes sense. He has like gauntlets on, but like there's parts there that he's the best way to describe it is kind of asymmetrical. He doesn't have the same stuff on both sides. So on this arm, he has this kind of spikes on his elbow, or running from his wrist to his elbow, where he doesn't seem to have that on this side. Even where the gauntlet is, you can't see where there would be those spikes. Now, my right arm is a bit loose on this one because I have to heat it up, and when it freed it up, it made it very loose. I might go back in and heat it again, see if it's just the joint is popped out of socket. He can't really do the splits too much because of these skirt pieces. He can kick forward that much. He does have a slight swivel at the top. I wouldn't force it too much because these really aren't kind of thigh swivels. He does have the knee joints, which are a bit hard to do because these bloody things on his legs are very pointy and sharp. But you do get dual knee joints. You can go all the way back. Again, same ankle articulation with the ball joint and the rocker, and the thing is same with the hands. He has the same ball joint. It's more noticeable on his left hand than the right hand, because his right hand is actually has the gauntlet on it, so you can't really see the hinge that much. It does look kind of weird that he has like spiked, it almost looks like armor on one hand, but it's not painted with armor, so I'm not sure if that's a omission. Excuse me. He does have the two peg holes. Again, he does come with one of those stands as well. I didn't take them out of their boxes, but it's the same stand that comes with all of them. So if you have trouble standing him, which is a bit of a big figure, you might need the stand to just give that extra bit. And the only other accessory he comes with is his big mace, mallet, meat tenderizer, whatever you want to call it. It comes with that. It is designed to fit into both hands. I have to, again, heat up the plastic a bit to get him to hold it. I haven't overstretched this hand to get him to hold it two-handed, but you can do it. I'm just a bit worried that, as you can see, there's a slight bend already starting on mine, that if I put it into both hands and kind of over time it might just warp. So I'm just having him kind of rested on his left instead of having him hold it in the left, so just so it doesn't warp the actual material that it's made from. It is slightly more bendy plastic. It's not, or kind of rubbery plastic. It's not the solid plastic, so you could, like, if it did warp out of shape, you'd take a bit of heating and a bit of maneuvering just to get it back into shape. But overall, he's a really cool figure. I do recommend picking these guys up. I got both of these from Amazon. I was kind of half expecting the bloodied variant as well for Shao Kahn, but it was only the regular one, which I'm happy enough with. There is an alternate version already. I'm not sure where the pre-orders for, and I'm not sure if it's an exclusive to a Target or Walmart, but it is kind of a more, I think it's golden yellow deco as opposed to the red and gold deco. But keep an eye out for that if that's your preference. It should be up for pre-order in different places. Just, it's a matter of where you can find it. Now, as I said, I got these two from Amazon.com. They should be available in most Amazon stores, and I think they're available for pre-order in Big Bad Toy Store. I don't think they have them in just yet. I know Big Bad Toy Store can be a little bit slower on getting things in, but I do recommend them because everything I've gotten through them, anything I've ordered through them, I've always gotten. So it's not a case of them just not getting it. They generally get them, but might be a little bit later than other retailers. But if you're willing to wait, or if you're willing to wait a little bit longer, you can usually get them on Big Bad Toy Store if you do a pre-order. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this quick review of Shao Kahn and Liu Kang. And just before I go, I'll just bring in a few other characters. Here is that 2-pack version of Raiden I mentioned. And here is the 2-pack version of Scorpion. I also picked up, well, it's from the same 2-pack. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review. And as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.